What is up, you sexy mofos? Now the big monthly patch just got pushed through today, and I'm here to tell you all the little juicy details because you're too busy to read the Steam notes, so I'll read them for ya. Let's get roll. I'm sorry, I wouldn't do that to you. I'm just kidding.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear.
Well, first things first, let's talk about what they just announced at 6:20 p.m. today. PLAYERUNKNOWN'S Battlegrounds Studios will be adding crossplay between PC and Xbox One, of course, when the game is out on Xbox One. Now, I can already see PLAYERUNKNOWN doing this bigger and better than games like Rocket League, because, I mean, Rocket League did it best, but I think that Last Man Standing, Survivor games, PLAYERUNKNOWN'S Battlegrounds has a bigger opportunity here to do a cross-platform game even better. And I think that as of right now, it's not confirmed, but they are going to be giving controllers, players that use controllers, some aim assist, just to balance it out a little bit so that it's not so much in the favor of people that use keyboard and mouse. Of course, the PC master race is going to jump all over this in the future, but it's just something that they just announced today. Also, something else to look forward to, especially for me. This is something that I've talked about ad nauseum on my streams, and even when I made my first guide, I wanted to address the fact that any game to survive or any game to flourish must eliminate any and all cheaters. And guess what? PUBG's patch notes just came out, and they snuck in a whole bunch of information on how they've banned 25,000 plus cheaters, and that is just a big plus. The fact that they are out in the open just talking about it and even throwing out some numbers. They banned 25,000 cheaters as of today. Now imagine, they've sold over 4 million copies. That's just 0.5 to 0.6% of the population of the game that's been banned completely. Now, of course, these numbers are nothing compared to games like CSGO, DayZ, Arma 3, and those sorts of games. Now, the anti-cheat that is being used on PLAYERUNKNOWN'S Battlegrounds is still the same. It's BattleEye. And one thing I want to mention to you is that they also released a video of Eugene Horton, who is basically employed to find cheaters. He calls them Pokemon. So he's like a Pokemon trainer, and he's got to catch all the cheaters. And that's how he sees it. It's an hour-long video that they posted on the Steam forums. And if you want to see that, I'll leave a link to that video for you in the description if you want to check it out. It's 58 minutes long, and it sort of goes into some detail, but of course they're not going to tell you how they catch the cheaters. My thoughts on this are freaking simple. It is just amazing that they're even talking about this out in the open. Unlike other games, they're shining the light on these fucking lousy little cockroaches of cheaters that ruined the game for a lot of people, and ruined the game totally, actually, from new people coming in and even wanting to play the game. So that is amazing. They're taking the right steps and they're moving in the right direction to ban these little cockroaches and get it out of here. All right, now let's talk about the patch notes and what they're going to be doing to improve the game. As always, guys, links as always for everything will be in the description, along with a detailed list of everything that's in the patch, everything that's in the Steam notes. I'll put them down in the description as well for you guys. So the first things first, you can now pick up items while you're running. However, it's not going to stop you completely, but you are going to be slowed down just a bit. Almost as if like the same animation that you do while you're reloading, you do tend to slow down a little bit. So that's a plus. You'll be able to pick up things as you're running around. You don't have to stop completely, and it might even make the game more fast-paced than before. Secondly, and this is the one that I'm excited about, is that they're going to be adding destructible cabins to the game. Now, of course, not all structures are destructible. Bluehole said that they were going to add selective structures that you could actually destroy with grenades, or you could take your car and run it through it. Now, I don't know how it's going to work. Maybe it's going to work like the white picket fence that you drive through. But imagine if you had more than a team of 2 or 3 people in that and you drove through it. That would make for an amazing clip or a highlight on your YouTube or your Twitch channel. So I'm really impressed that they're going to put that in the game already, because as of right now, all we have is destructible doors, fences, and little objects in the game. But that is a big plus in my book. It's going to be a hella crazy ride once these cabins are put in and once everything's destructible. Number 3, vehicles will no longer be spawning facing east. So it's going to make it much harder for you to even tell if somebody's used the vehicle or not, especially if it's parked alongside a road. So according to the patch notes, now we're going to have vehicles that are going to be spawning in random positions. Not every vehicle is going to be spawning facing east like we've been so used to. And last but not least, looks like we're getting some upgrades for pistols. All right, now in my humble opinion, that is not going to change the game any in my perspective of how I play the game. It's not going to change the game for me. But according to the notes, you can now pull out your pistol faster. Red dot sight is not attachable to pistols except for the revolver. Pistols get a little bit more utility here with the addition of optics and increased draw speed. So I guess the revolver is going to be the only one that you'll be able to actually attach a red dot to. They're saying that it's going to increase people's utility on using the pistols. Honestly, I don't think it's going to change that much. After all, who's going to use a pistol in an actual AR fight? All right, I hope you're strapped in for the next part. I'm just going to briefly go through some of the server performance and the client performance patch notes. So server performance first. Improved network performance to reduce the amount of data being sent from the server to the client. And of course, the opposite, reduce network lag by preventing a large amount of data being sent from the server to the client simultaneously as well. Client performance. Fixed an issue with the frame drop when other characters are around by optimizing nearby characters. Fixed an issue of frame drop when vehicles were around by optimizing vehicles. We had somewhat similar issues when it came to DayZ with these two things. Optimize the starting airplane and care package airplane. This one I'm not too sure about, but we'll see what happens when you load into the planes. There's a little bit of lag, I guess, in the initial startup. Improved rendering performance of weapons from far off. Now, I'm assuming this probably relates to when you're parachuting down and you'll be able to see the weapon on the ground, I guess, faster. Weapons will be spawning in faster before you can actually get to the building or the location where you're going. So they'll be readily available for you to loot once you get in, as opposed to you falling down and then them spawning like a few seconds later. Improvements to the weapon animations. This is a little touchy for me because I've been stuck many a times in weapon reload animations. So I'm thinking that maybe they're talking about just the reload animations. If you try to reload a revolver or a shotgun and then you switch weapons while you're reloading, because obviously it's a longer reload, for some reason your character just keeps going through that reload animation. So I'm assuming this is what that means. Optimization of many in-game effects, including the red zone bombing effect. Now I'm assuming this has something to do with the sound effects that you go through when you're in the bombings. Sometimes it just distorts really bad. So I'm hoping that they actually improve on that and not just the effect itself of the bombing. Now, the next one I'm going to talk about in a little bit more detail is added UI adjustments. All right, they've adjusted the direction of the teammate icons to the direction the teammate actually faces now. They've also added teammates list on world map. Improved the character's recoil animation. Now that's a big one, especially if you're spectating someone and half the time you don't even know where the hell they're shooting because everything's so off. So I'm hoping that this is what they're talking about and this fixes the recoil bug. Also, the last but not least is they've removed the death marker from your teammates. After your teammates die, if you go to a further distance, like if you're far off, that death marker will disappear, or just give it a period of time and it will eventually disappear from your screen, which is something that a lot of us have been asking for, especially when you're trying to fight somebody and then you see a big giant skull and crossbones as you zoom into them with a ×8 scope. So yeah, it seems to always get in the way, but that's something that a lot of us have been asking for. So thank you for that, Pubg. 2 thumbs up for that. And last but not least, this doesn't really affect us Americans or Europeans who speak English, but they're going to add 3 new languages to the UI: Thai, Indonesian, and Vietnamese. All right, let's talk about the meat and potatoes and what guns they're going to be adding in this patch today. They're going to be adding 2 new weapons. One is the P18C, aka the Glock, and the second one is the Groza. Now, the Groza is going to be a crate item only. It's chambered in 7.62 ammo, and as of now, you can only acquire it from care packages. Now, the Glock is unique in its way because it's going to be the only pistol that you're going to be able to use with a full auto mode. So that's going to be a little change up as far as pistols go. And I'm definitely looking forward to that. This is definitely one of their bigger patches because they've also added in a whole bunch of gameplay features which are going to be changed according to the new patch. Also, world and environment stuff. They're going to be adding 2 new weather settings, sunset and clear skies, and they're also working on a lot of bugs, fixes. I'll leave everything for you, everything they fixed, from the items and adjusting how suppressors spawn and stuff like that. Everything will be in the description below for you guys. There was just so much to cover for this monstrosity of a patch, and I just hope that I covered all the important key factors for you. Hope you found the video fun and informative, and if you did, please be sure to leave it a like because it It really helps out the channel. And if you want to see more videos like this, please be sure to hit that subscribe button. Give me some feedback in the comment section below and let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see. Well, thanks so much for watching. And I just want to mention before I forget, the next video that comes out is going to be unique in its way because a lot of you requested like a longer full round video without commentary. I might just add a little bit of music, of course, to give it that cinematic feel. Honestly, this channel is completely organic. I listen to you guys on Twitter. We have polls. I listen to you guys in the comments below. If you have any questions, please be sure to drop it down below in the comments and I will definitely respond to you. As always, guys, stay strong. Hope you enjoy the rest of the round and I'll see you